Now let's do problem 3 from the practice exam. So here it is. Given the following limits, calculate the limits below. If they exist, if it doesn't exist, enter none. Okay. So we just have some functions f, g, and h, and as they go to 5, those are their respective limits. F goes to 3, g goes to -1, and h goes to 0. And now we're supposed to do these a, b, c, d limits. So let's just look here at a. Alright, so what's the limit as x goes to 5 of, I hate this thing. What's the limit as x goes to 5 of f of x plus 5 times g of x? Okay, so there's no reason, I think I didn't go over the limit laws in class. I guess I did last semester. I must have gone over it more. But there's no reason that you can't just plug in. So the limit as x goes to 5 of f of x plus 5g of x is the same thing as the limit as x goes to 5 of f of x plus 5 times the limit as x goes to 5 of g of x. Okay, so that means that you can just plug in. You can just plug in these things. So f goes to 3 and g goes to -1. So if you do that, you've got, this is 3 plus 5 times -1, and so that comes out to be just -2. Okay, so -2 is the answer to A. Alright, and now let's look at B. So B works the same way. The limit of the cube is the cube of the limit. So if I wanted to, I could rewrite this thing as the limit as, the limit as x goes to 5 of g of x cubed. Okay, so since g of x goes to -1, this is just the same thing as -1 cubed, and that's the same thing as -1. So b here is -1. Alright, and now let's look at c. Okay, so again, the quotient, the limit of the quotient is the quotient of the limits. So I could just go ahead and rewrite this as 4 times the limit of f divided by the limit of g. There's a special caveat for that one, which is that the limit of the denominator can't be 0. But the limit of the denominator is -1. So we could go ahead and rewrite things that way. And if we did, we would have, this would come out to be just 12 divided by -1, right? So this is -12. Alright. And finally, D, we have a case where it just doesn't exist. So as x goes to 5, g is going to -1, but h is going to 0. And so you could say that it's either -infinity or does not exist. Either one is fine. So this equals does not exist, and -infinity is also okay. Okay, so why does it go to -infinity? If you just plug, get your calculator out and start looking at things like -1 over 0.000001, you'll agree with me that this thing is getting closer and closer to -infinity. So just check those out and see what happens. And great, so that's how you do number 3.